finally downloading AutoCAD for the first time, you know, like 7 years into architecture school. Where's it at, though? Welcome to Monday. No, I missed that. So focused. What's going on? So my class today that I TA for is all pinned up. Look at that. They're so good. Actually, they're in the other room at the moment, but they have their final crit today for this first project. It's looking good. I like all their process models and stuff.
And I think there's like such a strong division between what happens here. Like I feel like that needs to be blurred out, and like this needs to become more prominent, where like you can see through into the warehouse. Mm-hmm. But you can see into the warehouse, the drones, like everything happening. But you see, like when it's at this scale, like it's really hard to see. And actually, most people who are going to be walking through the mall are not going to experience it, but nothing like this, right? Like they're going to experience that. So this looks really poor. So this is on what's called the InDesign.
So you have an Amazon patent where they do something underground. Is there a way to implement something like that into this space?
No, because that's what's happening here. Like the anchor stores are just like huge, massive spaces that have like they just take such a huge amount out of the mall, and they like intersect or they're encrusted into the mall. So I'm beginning to think that like these spaces specifically are going to become like this places of glass where you can look into the warehouse that this redistributes everything throughout the mall. Mm-hmm. So it's like no longer underground, but it's like something that you can see from here. So this one's kind of like this old movie theater that used to be one of the anchors, but since it's all media overload, then like you don't really need a movie theater. Yeah. So I got rid of that, and then I placed the mall in part like so you can go here, Like,
because the one thing I'm thinking about is that you have the transportation of the package through like a bunch of different ways to the consumer, but you don't show, or I haven't seen you show how the packages actually get to this place. So like the warehouse, like 18-wheelers dropping everything off and like replenishing this site, you know. So that's why I was asking if you did underground, like can they come in the trucks, like deliver them underground and they get pushed up into this warehouse and separated? And
well, like the entire point of like doing this kind of like this movie theater as like part of which is the section is the fact that this is right behind the parking lot. So a lot of it can come through here, but it's also like identifying like actually a lot of the department store, like the anchor stores and department stores where we're like accessible were put in the perimeter because they were so that like they also have this like huge, very spacious entrances for trucks to come in. Yeah. So I think like now using the anchors as potentials for these things to come in, I think is a future outcome of them. Yeah. So all of a sudden they're like hidden or encrusted within the mall, but all of a sudden they also kind of become like the face that faced the mall now becomes the glass, and you can see the overwhelming amount of things that there are, but you never have access to touch them unless like they get to you. Yeah. But they come in through these hidden spots, which are like the back of the mall or the perimeter. Yeah. So, that's kind of what I'm strategizing.
How's it going, guys? And it's almost a cliche to talk about Office these days, but it's interesting that their website is basically set up that way, right? On the left-hand side, there's always a series of images that are mostly atmospheric, that are communicating what it feels like to be in that space. And on the right-hand side, there's usually a really well-crafted line drawing that communicates the concept. So there's one drawing that really delivers the idea behind this project and the contributions that this project is making to the discipline of architecture.
let's get this. You do it like this, not like that. Oh my god.
The forest, yeah.
This one done, it's like 3 seconds.
A vibroblade?
Vibroblade.
Wow. Sounds legit. Just like Emmanuel. Wow, yeah.
Emmanuel.
Look at him.
Slash and shit.
Yeah, go slash some shit. Slash some shit.
Some shit.
Ooh.
Ooh. What's that?
Sports because you'll do everything, see how you get around it. Alright.
It's a terrain.